I've been playing this game for a decent 15 hours now and spent about half the time bitching about the problems that I have with it, and the other half experiencing some really satisfying and uniquely fun gameplay moments. People keep asking me if this is For Honor 2, and while it's a very different game, that same love-hate feeling is already there. I suppose the question I'll be answering today is, which outweighs the other? I should start by saying that hate is a bit of a strong word, and I'm too emotionally shut off to admit that I love something, so try not to take it too literally. For those of you that aren't familiar with the game, I'll give a quick summary. 2 teams of 4 players battle it out against each other in a fortress full of AI in order to steal a valuable chest and extract it for the people. Whichever team finishes extracting the chest wins the game and most of the money inside. There are 3 main goals every match. First, pickpocket the key from the sheriff, a big burly knight that cannot be killed, only slowed down or stunned for a period of time, and will insta-kill you with no questions asked if you get too close. I don't know what's underneath that armor, but if I had to guess, he's missing his fedora. Once you get the key, you'll have to find and open the vault, and grab the chest inside to take to an extraction point. One person will have to carry the chest while the rest defend, but they can drop it and get in the fight if necessary. Once you reach one of the extraction sites, you deposit the chest and have to winch it out of the area. Once the chest is placed, either team can make progress on the winch and get some gold from the checkpoints on the way. But whichever team actually finishes the winch will win. I've had multiple games lost or won by one team just finishing off the last bit of progress without really doing a whole lot of anything leading up to that deciding moment. This keeps the action tense at all times. A match is never really over until it's fucking over. One team wipe can be the difference between an easy win and a heartbreaking defeat. There are also 3 objective points that you want to capture and hold along the way so that you can spawn closer to the objective, and more importantly, the enemy cannot. Throughout this whole process, it's best to not get spotted by the guards, especially the sheriff. Once you're discovered, the enemy team becomes fully aware of your location, and the area you're in will lock down. Once you get to the endgame portion of the match, where both teams are attempting to finish the winch and win the money, being sneaky flies out the fucking window like Abu Dhabi's car in Fast and Fantastical 7. When shit hits the fan, there's little time to be cautious the whole run through the map, so most of the time there's going to be pure chaos around the winch, with loads of AI surrounding both teams. Because it goes down that way, some classes can be a lot harder to play than others, and by some I mean anything that isn't Brawler, with a slight edge to Mystic. There are 4 classes in this game: Ranger, the poster boy sniper class; Hunter, the stealth-focused assassin; Brawler, the melee master that kicks names and takes ass; and Mystic, the healer who is also more focused on melee. Each class is fun to play in their own right and can fill a different role strategy-wise, but suffice to say, if you don't have at least one Brawler, you're gonna have a bad time. When it comes to 1v1s, the Brawler easily wins every matchup at close range, with his only potential weakness being another Brawler. Ranger and Hunter can't block attacks at all, they can only dodge. This can save you from a few hits, but you don't have much of a counter-strike aside from trying to quickscope in between swings, or just running away to teammates. It does make sense that the Brawler would be much more effective up close. It is literally their entire class focus after all, but I wish you could sway a fight in your favor more as any class by outplaying your opponent. Even dodging and going for a counter hit doesn't work because they'll simply hit you through it, and before you know it your stamina is gone and you're dead. Mystics can hold their own better because they have a block instead of a dodge. If you time it right, you can parry as well for a punish. Just pray the Brawler doesn't have their ultimate ability ready because they'll straight up turn into the Incredible Hulk and smash your tits in. The 1v1 combat is pretty rudimentary, but I think that's fine for the most part. The game is mostly focused on playing as a team well and using your abilities to overwhelm your opponents. It is frustrating losing to a light attack spamming Brawler, but the game isn't really designed around 1v1 duels. It's about looting, scooting, and the chaos that ensues in between. Team fights are where things get a little more interesting. You can have your Brawlers going at it while ranged classes try to snipe out kills and support from behind, and the game flows a lot better. However, there's also this fun little mechanic called Assassinations, and this is where shit gets really cheesy. At any point during a combat encounter with enemy players, if one person crouches behind an enemy player and quickly presses E, that's a free assassination. This makes 1v2 fights virtually unwinnable because one person will distract you while the other simply crouches behind and presses E. Even during team fights where I feel like everyone is going at it, swinging for the fences, sometimes I'll randomly get assassinated by a hunter that broke off from the fight for 2 seconds. I won't lie to you, this shit can be really fun to abuse, but I don't think it's a good thing for the game generally. AI won't let you assassinate them after you're spotted, but for some reason you can do it to players just fine. Sometimes fights will legitimately boil down to a bunch of dudes sniffing each other's butts like horny golden retrievers trying to fish for that E key to finally land. I'm hoping they tweak this somewhere down the line. Still, there's a lot of potential here. I definitely have my gripes with the game as I've mentioned, but there's something so satisfying about getting that chest out and winning games. Having a 4-person team especially makes the game an absolute blast, strategizing who's going to go capture objectives, scouting ahead of the chest carrier to quietly clear out enemy guards, and brutally assassinating enemy players as they rush the objective. It feels good to play regardless of the jankiness here and there. If you're expecting a flawless AAA game, you should probably pass here. Combat doesn't have much depth, stealth is not on an Assassin's Creed level, but there's just enough of both to keep the game interesting match to match. Right now there are 5 maps in the game, and different spawns for Mr. X as well as the Vault on each one. They're also planning a full year of free updates, including a new map, character, and of course cosmetics, so you can look better at the game than you actually are. So that's always nice to see. Overall, I'd say it's worth the $30 price point for a good amount of fun. If the game receives regular updates and attention as planned, it could definitely be something I continue playing fairly regularly. For more Hood Outlaws and Legends, consider subscribing and following my Twitch channel where I stream a variety of games, including this one. Thanks for watching my first impressions video, hope it gives you some idea on how the game is looking, and I hope to catch y'all in the next one.